Sounds
Recording in progress.
good. Ooh,
Hi,
yeah.
Neen.
Hi, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween and happy
Oh,
Totally
yeah.
90s Podcast Day. Did you get it?
Yes, I did. Oh my gosh, this made my day.
Don't I look like a soccer mom? Like, who is that?
Where did you get that wig?
So guys, I just texted Neen a picture of me wearing a hideous wig. So
That is
yesterday
fantastic.
for work, Angel and her like team at work, they were gonna do a group costume, and it was Star Trek.
Uh-huh.
And so I got her like the shirt, the little emblem, and let me fix my mic. There I am. Hi, how's it going? The shirt, the emblem, and I was like, oh, let me get you a wig too. She loves wigs. It's
That's so
fun.
cute.
So I got her a wig, and now I'm gonna send you a picture of her because
Oh
she's
my
like, oh
gosh,
my
no,
God.
this is
She
great.
goes, I look like somebody's grandmother. And it's just okay, are you ready? So, anyways, that's where that wig is from. And I literally die. But yeah, that's what she
See.
was. And which reminds me, I went to work yesterday and I was gonna send you an audio recording,
Mm-hmm.
but I decided to see your face in person and tell you. So I went to work in my 50s outfit, not the
Uh-huh.
zombie outfit. And
Mm-hmm.
there was costume contests, and I'm just sitting there minding my own business, and they call a winner.
Oh my
Did you
gosh,
get
she's
care?
so funny.
Did you get it?
Look at her. It actually looks like her
Oh
hair.
my God, she don't not. She's like, I look awful. It's
No, but it
hilarious.
looks like really good. Not, I mean, I wouldn't pick that cut for her,
Right.
but it looks like if I didn't know her,
It looks like
like
her
it's a
hair.
real wig
Isn't
or
that
like her
great?
real haircut. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. No,
So
but how
funny.
funny is that? I died when she sent me the picture. But like, so like they're calling like the winners and stuff, and all of a sudden they say Stephanie, and I'm like,
Hmm.
and I start squealing and jumping and twirling. I'm like, I never win anything. This is so cool. And I'm like, yeah. And I start to walk
Uh-huh.
up to get my prize. They're like, oh, we meant the other Stephanie. What the
How
fuck?
embarrassing.
I was humiliated. I was like, oh my God, like, I am sorry. And I guess they were like so taken aback by my reaction. Like, oh my God, I was squealing like I won the fucking lotto. And they were like, oh my God, that was so cute. We want to give you a prize anyways. And I'm like, no. And one of the attorneys gave me a
Ugh.
prize because they felt bad. And then the Stephanie that won tried to give me her prize. I'm like, no.
You're like, it's okay.
I'm
You're
like,
like, I'm so moted right
I
now.
was so moted. And FYI, had I worn my zombie look, I think I would have wiped the floor with these peeps, but
Oh,
whatever.
that's for damn sure.
But
Because
yeah.
I mean, hell, you were like, oh, I went out of sound for a second. You were in full effect for Halloween. Can you tell everybody what
Ooh,
you did? Because it was pretty epic.
it was amazing. So I think I've mentioned before that me and Angel belong to this group called Pop Star, and we learn choreographies over a 7 week period. So this is totally separate from my Zumba life, which I love. It's like
Hmm.
so like, oh, it's amazing. And we happen to learn Thriller this for this session, and we were going to be flash mobbing in the city. We were going to flash mob outside of a bar like right next to the Castro Theater. It's super cool area,
Hmm.
right? And just be all mingling. All of a sudden you hear the creaking of Thriller, and then
Hmm.
we start walking all gross, and then
Hmm.
we did that. It was amazing. And FYI, after that first performance, I'm walking and someone goes, Steph, and I'm like, huh? Hey, guess who it was? A friend I hadn't seen since 8th grade. I was in full on zombie
And
mode.
they recognized you?
I'm like, oh, I need to go do a freaking whatchamacallit, a facial, girl. So that
Wow.
happened. And
Wow.
then we go to the Castro Theater, and we're sitting there, and like the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence are holding this like event, and they're
Hmm.
doing a costume contest, amazing costumes. So we're sitting there, people are stopping me and Angel like, wow, you guys should, are you entered in the competition, you guys should do it, la la la. We're sitting, all of a sudden the zombie music starts, and we start walking in the aisles, and then we break
Hmm.
out into Thriller in the aisles. It looked so cool.
Wow.
The videos that I saw,
Hmm.
it was an amazing experience. And me and Angel were dressed up as Alcatraz escapees
Hmm.
from like the 40s. And
That's so
we
cool.
escape and we jump into the ocean, and we are immediately killed by a shark.
Hmm.
So when we ripped our costumes to shreds, we like put like, you try to make like scratches and bite marks, and
Mm-hmm.
then I got fake blood and we sprayed it all over, and then we sprayed it with like silver hair paint, the spray paint,
Mm-hmm.
and it was awesome. And we did our own makeup. I was like, okay, Angel, we were like, we looked gross.
Wow.
I was
No,
like,
you guys looked phenomenal.
it was fun,
Really
and it was
did.
definitely on my bucket list. I've never been in a flash mob, so this
Aw,
was it was awesome. So
that is
that's what
so
I did, and
cool.
we made
Oh
the
my God.
news. Like, what up?
And then, yeah, for real. I was like, what? You're in the freaking San Francisco gate,
Yeah, and
right?
CBS too. Like, I was like, oh my
Dang,
God, it was
that's
awesome. It
amazing.
was cool.
Aw, one to
Very
go in the
blessed.
freaking books.
Oh, I'm very proud. That was awesome. So yay,
And then
Thriller.
for real, I mean, who doesn't love Thriller? Crap, that's like, man. Wait, hold on. So when's your actual performance?
It's actually tomorrow night. So we
Okay.
do the performances at the end of 7 weeks. We perform at a nightclub, which Neen has been to before. She went to
Yeah,
her
I
first
know.
one.
I know, and I
And
wish I could have gone last time, but it was on my
on your
birthday.
birthday, yeah, that was boy bands, but
And
I
then
can't
tomorrow,
wait.
I
It's
can't even
tomorrow
walk
night.
there.
And oh my
Ah,
God, no, but
but you were also a 50s girl.
yes, so that's the costume I wore to work.
Hmm.
And I thought I won.
So Steph texts me yesterday morning and she goes, yeah, I'm at work, blah, blah. And I go, because you usually aren't working on a Monday from
Right.
work, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, you're at work? And you're like, yeah, we're having a Halloween party. And I go, oh, okay. And you're like, yeah, but I'm the only one in costume. Apparently everybody's dressing up at noon. And I laughed because it totally reminded me, like I texted you, of that episode of Modern Family where Mitch goes to work and I can't remember the costume he
He had like something ridiculous, like a shark or like something
had.
huge. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, that
And he
was
was the
me.
only
I'm
one.
like, good morning. Are we doing this? What is this?
Oh man, Steph, that
I know, I'm on a
sucks.
roll.
Man. Yeah, for real. I would have been like, okay, I just gotta go.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
like deuce
done.
out of here. But it was
Not to put any of our friends on blast, but our friend Asu had
mhm.
a similar situation when we worked at the cemetery together. They were like when they have new employees, and I didn't witness it, but she told me, so I'm pretty sure she won't mind me telling the story because it's similar to you getting
Oh my
moted.
God.
Because when they have new employees, they call out your name at like these like assembly things that they have, right?
Yeah.
And so it was like, we're going to introduce our new employees. So they named all of the new employees. But she was the first one, I think it was,
Uh-huh.
after awards.
Okay.
So
Oh
she
shit.
went up to like shake the president's hand. And like, I think he gave her a hug or something. And she was like, okay, you could go. He was like, okay, you could go sit down now. But I think she thought she was going to get something, right? And she was like, and everybody was laughing. And I think he made some
Oh.
sort of joke or something like, oh, I wish I had something to give
Oh.
you, but whatever. And
Oh my
because they give
God.
employees like for their anniversaries, like money, like gift
Yeah.
cards and stuff. So I think it like was right after that. So she went up there
Gosh.
assuming that because she just said, he just pronounced her name and she was like, oh, and she walks right up and he's like, oh, okay, you can go back to your seat now.
Oh my
She
God.
was like, oh
That
my gosh,
is
Justine, I'm so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God. And everybody's there laughing, whatever. I'm like, oh my God, help me.
that is so funny. Oh my
And that
God.
kind of stuff always happens to me, like to where you like think someone's talking to you, but they're talking to someone else, you know? And I'm like, okay, now I'm moded. This
Mm.
is horrible, man. But hey, it's a
Ugh,
memory you'll remember forever.
girl. And this is, normally I don't participate in like work things anymore.
Hmm.
My antisocial ass.
Right?
But like I was like, okay, I'll get in the spirit. I'll
Hmm.
actually attend the party. Oh
Aw.
my God.
So do you work tomorrow from home, being that you
No,
didn't
that's
work?
why I went yesterday too. So it's like work from home tomorrow and I could
Hmm.
leave with plenty of time to go to the performance spot.
Oh, good. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. Hey, not bad. Shoot.
But man, am I sad that October's already over, but I'm also really excited because November, we're just a couple of married gals celebrating wedding anniversaries, aren't we?
Right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, we are. I'm 3 years. You're going to be one.
I'm gonna be 1 year old, my baby
Mm,
princess.
man, that's so crazy. Time flies because it feels like we were just here getting ready for this, like anticipating it, counting down.
Like we haven't even ordered a freaking wedding photo because we've been talking about picking like some wedding photos to
Hmm.
frame. And it's November. I'm like, oh my God, like
Yeah, well, if you, I mean, I know people, no, I think that's a record if you actually order it this year, because I know people that have been married for like 7 years
oh
and
good. Okay.
still haven't even ordered any of their photos. So, you have time.
Okay. Great.
You're
Great.
good.
Oh
Yeah.
my
You
God.
were just basking in your happiness for the past
Ugh,
year. So, you
it's
know,
like every day is like, oh my
and
God,
you
I'm
have
so
some epic
happy.
photos. So
Yeah. Well,
it's going to be hard to choose.
you are an amazing photographer. Like, seriously, you
Aw.
and Chella, like, first of all, we didn't even need to have a professional wedding photographer because the photos taken at the wedding, like, I have to show you the ones, or maybe you saw Chella's photos.
Mm-hmm.
She took
Yeah.
great picture, and I got them that day.
Mm-hmm. And I
And
think
then,
you posted more of those than the ones from the actual
yeah,
photographer, right?
uh-huh, I did. Thank you for noticing because I do not do well with those spontaneous photos. I
Mm-hmm.
look like Jabba the Hutt in all the pictures.
No, you don't. She does
Meanwhile,
not.
Angel, even when I laugh with my whole face, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Like I look like I'm gonna swallow the person next to me whole.
Oh
And
my God, no.
Angel looks like Kate Middleton. She throws her head back in her hair that you did because Anine did her hair, makeup, married
Mm-hmm.
us, did everything. But like Angel throws her perfectly like blonde hair back and she looks like it's like an ad. And there I am, like 3 months in, like, hi, how's it going?
Aw. No, you looked stunning. You really did. You both
Uh,
did. I We're our own worst critics, so, but you looked amazing. No, and I'm pretty sure everybody would beg to differ. You looked freaking awesome.
Not in the spontaneous photos. And I
Well,
dare you to look
but
at them with me and try to stifle a laugh.
see, so like when you guys picked him,
Look,
did he, because see, when I pick a photographer, I'm
yeah.
I'm looking at the spontaneous ones, not the, pose like intentional ones, right? I want to pick people,
Hmm.
and that all the ones that Tony, when we were going to have a wedding here,
Hmm.
when we were looking at photographers, that's what I wanted. I
Yeah.
needed a photographer to take good pictures of people when they didn't know anybody was looking, because that's a sign of a good photographer. And I'm pretty sure Kara has an eye for that too, because
She
I remember you
does.
saying that.
She does. And we went through a lot of photographers, and his portfolio was amazing. And Neen, everyone else looks amazing in the spontaneous photos. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the ones at the reception that are spontaneous, they're nice. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was actually like, okay, like he caught really nice moments.
Mm-hmm.
Like my one of my favorite ones of the evening is you, me, Tony, and
Mm-hmm.
Simon, I think, cracking up at the
At
table.
the table, yeah.
Yeah. Or
Mm-hmm.
like there's one of you fixing my veil that he and I'm looking at him like at that
Mm-hmm.
moment that he caught. Like there's like these
Right.
moments, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
it's just the ones like at the I'm like, oh, but the posed ones I really love. Like I love the
Oh,
ones of
yes.
us, except where he made us do like
Oh,
non-smiling.
yeah.
Okay, we're taking like we're pooping or constipated.
That was hilarious. But the ones like on the stairs and stuff,
Yeah.
oh, incredible.
Yeah. So we're gonna frame that one, I think, for sure.
Yes. It's kind of like those type of photos. I think those are like important even if you're not married. Those kind of photos I think are so important to take with like your significant other.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
because it's like different when it's a selfie or whatever, you're at a party, but ones that are like that in that kind of setting or in a
Hmm.
field somewhere where you don't even see your faces, but it's you two. I
Yeah.
think those are like such beautiful photos. I love those so much. Even like um Brandy and I were talking about this the other day, like how do you pronounce it? Boudoir? Boudoir?
Yeah.
Like those type
Boudoir.
of, yeah, those are so pretty too. Like very tasteful,
Hmm.
some of them. And I think sometimes people need those type of photos because it shows a different type of beauty in people versus the ones that you see when you're trying. You
I
know what I mean?
agree. And it's funny that you say the boudoir ones because yesterday when we were in practice, I was looking at there's one of the performances is Dance for You by Beyonce. That's very
Mm-hmm.
boudoir. I don't know if you've ever seen the video, but it's black and white and she's dancing with a chair.
Mm-hmm.
So sensual and everything. And I was watching every single person, boys and girls. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
love it. They're all wearing heels.
Mm-hmm.
The looks in their faces. I
Mm-hmm.
chills just watching every single dancer because you see them with that confidence. Like they're all
Right.
confident. They're all like doing that and they feel so good.
Mm-hmm.
I see that in boudoir shots. Like
Yeah.
whenever I see like them, like Angel has a cousin, she's stunning. She should be a model. Maybe she
Mm-hmm.
is, but she always is sharing like boudoir shots that she goes and takes regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous. And the confidence that comes out is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always
Yes.
wanted to do that, but like here's
Mm-hmm.
the thing. When people tell me not to smile, I look
Mm-hmm.
like I'm laughing. So it's like either it's gonna be a cheese grin in like
Mm-hmm.
lingerie, like
Mm-hmm.
I can't do the whole, you know?
Exactly. It's like, but I think that's like the photographer's job to get you in that element to where you don't even have to try. It could just
Yeah.
be a moment, you know? I would love to take photos of people like that because I like taking pictures of people when they don't know you're looking, you
Yeah.
know? Like,
You took
be,
that one of Angel. I'm sorry to interrupt, but the
uh
one of her when she found the dress.
oh,
You
yeah.
took that one of her where she's looking, you took it from the angle where you see her face in the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
and you caught the moment where she's like, this is the one. Like she was
Mm-hmm.
feeling herself in it.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing. But you
Like,
also do it with the angle. You know how to do
oh.
angles.
See, and that's the thing. I hate when people take pictures and they don't know how to do angles.
Ugh.
Seriously. Like, or like people maybe, especially if you know someone, like maybe there's certain picture or assets they don't feel comfortable with. Like, then you try and focus on the parts that maybe they would feel more comfortable in. You know what I mean? Like, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's important too to tell a photographer, oh, I really don't like this, or I really don't like that. Like my first wedding I had,
Mm-hmm.
a very old guy, right?
Mm,
But he knew his shit. Like
okay.
he literally asked me, "Is there anything you don't feel comfortable with? What is your insecurities?" Because I don't want to take picture of something that you're going to maybe I can make it better, right? Or not as obvious or whatever it is, right? And for me it was at that time it was my scar on my arm even though you can't really see it. But he was like, okay. He's like, I'll try not to, maybe you'll get in another angle or what side do you like? Right? Those
Mm,
are important, you know?
yeah.
So I don't know. It's just one of those things, but I can't wait to see what pictures you choose because honestly, all the ones you've posted are my favorite. So,
Aw,
you don't
this
look like whatever
one.
you said you look like.
You're adorable, and I love you for that. Thank you.
Man. So, anyways, but today's Halloween.
Happy Halloween. It's the end of spooky season. Oh my
It
God.
is.
I love Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays. I love it. I love it. Everyone's jolly. Well, it's for Christmas, but we're jolly. And
Yes.
how exciting is it that you have a baby that you can dress up for Halloween? And what is she gonna dress up as? You want to tell everybody? It's so cool.
Yes. She's gonna be Wednesday.
Oh, and the song, no, no,
Uh-huh.
no, 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 no,
It's so
no.
funny. Right? We're obsessed with that show. She loves it. I finally was able to allow her actually to watch it when she turned 10. So, um, and she's been watching it ever since. Yeah. So I really didn't think she would choose that as a costume, but I mentioned it and then I didn't press it. And then Tony asked her, what do you want to be for Halloween? She's like, I'm going to be Wednesday. And I was
Oh
like,
my God. It's perfect. Does she
yes.
have bangs anymore?
No, but her wig does.
Oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna
Yeah.
die a little bit, aren't I? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Well,
can't wait.
oh
I'm
my
so
God.
excited.
I can't
But
wait to see the pictures, please.
yes, I am sad because as you know, I hurt my leg, so I won't be able to walk with her um to trick or treat, which kind of sucks, but I'll take tons of pictures and stuff. So, yeah.
I'm
What a freaking
sad.
bummer. I know, I'm really bummed because I'm really
Seriously.
excited for her.
It's
I
okay.
just
You know what?
something
She'll
about
come.
trick or treating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like man, my mom back in the day every year she would take me to St. Francis Woods because the rich people
Oh
love to give
yeah.
the full size candy
Hello.
bars. That was the
Okay.
spot. Oh,
Tell me don't
memories.
play.
Oh
But
man.
Saturday we went to a Halloween party where we did like pumpkin carving and stuff. So
Nice.
Sunday's when I hurt my leg. So let's just say I went out with a bang on
You
Saturday because I
sure
lived it
did.
up, right? But on our way there is when we got the news of Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
And literally, I feel like someone stabbed me in the heart.
I was
I was
getting
shocked.
ready and I found out. And if
Mm,
like Annie texted me, her coworker told her, and I was like, no. And I log on and I see everything at like 6 minutes, like People Magazine
mhm.
had posted and everything. And I was like,
Yeah.
it's just so unreal to me and so sad. And just everything that he had been sharing and talking about was very like kind of ominous. And
Mhm.
that last post that he posted in that jacuzzi was just, that was his
Mhm.
last post. And that's where,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just, it's very, he's had it rough, but he was also like more than his demons, you know what I
Oh,
mean? Like he was a
completely.
talented playwright. He was
Mhm.
gonna release, like he was writing a play, and
Mhm.
he was
Exactly.
hilarious. And I
Such
just,
a loss.
yeah, this one really, really hurt. Like all of
Yeah.
them do. This one
Mhm.
was like when George Michael passed,
I was just
kind
gonna
of
say that
level for me.
exactly. No,
I
same here.
just, and I think there's so much being shared. And like, you know, I really appreciate TMZ for being like on them, like super quick with the news, but also I feel like they're so heartless because they're
Mhm.
just camped out and at his place. And his parents show up and TMZ is the one there to like get in their face and how are you feeling, like fuck you.
Mhm.
And then for the cast to say you guys need to give us a minute, like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
everyone needs to chill. And like
Mhm.
they finished the autopsy, like look how quick that was. But like the
Mhm.
the toxology, that's going to take some
Yeah.
time.
Weeks,
And people
exactly.
need to just, can he rest for a minute? It's just,
It's so sad. It really is. So, like, if you guys don't know, this is actually what we're going to dedicate this episode to Matthew Perry, and that's who we're going to talk about. Because he was like a big part of our lives in the sense of with friends. It was something that's a show that we both love so much. And I know for me, Friends was something that even helped me through some really hard times. And it even helped, like I had told you before, my mom and Presley during my dad's death. It brought laughter into our home when we were so sad. And their favorite characters are Chandler and Joey and Phoebe.
my favorite
So,
character has always been Chandler. Like it's
mhm,
just, he's very, I don't know, he's the people's guy. He had a
yeah.
regular job, like his character.
Mhm,
It was like a job that, for some reason, all his friends are self-involved, couldn't be bothered to learn what it was.
mhm,
He was the one that people like the episode where Monica's like, well, we're all here together, and she's already married to him at this point, and Rachel's
mhm.
like, Chandler's not here. Like,
Right.
why his character was like kind of like the forgotten one, I'll never know. I think maybe
Mhm.
because he had a boring job, but he had the most
Right.
adult job out of everyone. So actually,
Exactly. And yeah, and he always, like you said, would joke about that he was the only one that was really adulting, had like a 9 to 5, whereas the
exactly.
rest were always hanging out at the coffee shop,
Exactly. Like
you know?
Phoebe was a freelance masseuse.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't we making fun of her? No offense,
Exactly.
but like that was
Mm-hmm.
that was weird to me. I don't know. I just always related to Chandler because
Mm-hmm.
he was just more like realistic.
And he was very logical, when you look at Monica's career and how her too, like you would see her come and go every now and then, like when she was working. But
Hmm.
for the most part, she really was around. But she would, when they first got engaged and they were trying to plan their wedding, she wanted that wedding of her dreams and she didn't care how much money she was going to
Yeah.
spend. And I remember she literally told Chandler, I don't care. Like, what was it, his 401k or something like that, or whatever he had saved, his life
Yes.
savings. And she expected him to basically pay for
Yes.
their dream wedding with that, a portion of that
Yes.
money. She didn't care.
No.
It was like, no, like, why are we going to spend this on that and this on that? Like, we could use this towards a house. Like, he was a lot more
Exactly.
logical. Like you said, he was more normal, someone we could
Down to
relate
earth. Hmm.
to. Hmm.
And I also like, sorry to interrupt, but I like
Hmm.
that his childhood, he kind of like, his character had a lot of issues too. So it was like very
Hmm.
easy to relate to because like his parents were divorced.
Hmm.
His father cheated on his mother. His father then, transitioned into a
Mm-hmm.
woman, and that was
Right.
cool, like to see that on
Mm-hmm.
daytime, or like channel 2 or whatever channel
Exactly.
it used to be on. So that was really cool. And like, he hated Thanksgiving, and he hated
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving foods because that's when he found out about his parents' divorce. And
Mm-hmm.
that's so relatable. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. How certain things were triggers for him. And those are
yes.
things that, trigger other kids or other people, like
Hmm.
certain life events, you know? And it's just, he was just, I don't know. And the thing with him is that, and I think that's the thing, like you were talking about TMZ, they are pretty shitty. Like it irritates me how it's like you said, it's nice that they release stuff, but I think it's always a competition. Oh, we got to be the first to say something. So they just release all this trash a lot of times to kind of just like get it out there in case it's something big or in case it's something that becomes big. So this way they can have credit and be like, oh, well, we did it first, right?
Right.
And it's so funny because they were talking about his ex-girlfriend, the one that he was recently engaged to. And I think they broke up in like 2020, I think, or 2022, I think it was around there. And um, I don't know, this hoe decided to like post something about him, right? And someone had commented and said, please, for anybody that loves me, don't you dare. Okay, and during my time of death, don't you dare ever ask my ex, okay, their opinion of me or have them release some sort of statement or go to my funeral because seriously, hell
Well,
no. Because this bitch did say something in her own words. I guess you could say she could have meant like, oh, it was being nice. But of course, she had to have that little jab, like he hurt her the most out of anybody. And I'm like, seriously?
okay, so that brings me to my next question. How did you feel about Gwyneth Paltrow being like exactly? Because I feel like also when I kick it, don't be asking my exes about me and the kind of
No,
person that I
no. And this isn't
was.
about you, Gwyneth. Like, I didn't even know they were together.
Yeah, I was
So
like
I,
Julia hasn't said anything.
no. And the poor guy passed away on her birthday.
Yeah.
And the thing is like with Gwyneth, I feel like she's always, that's the one thing we've talked about this. We like Gwyneth, right?
Yeah, we like Gwyneth.
But this, when I read that, I was like, okay, there's when people die, there's always those people that want not accolades, but they want to be known like, oh, I knew them. You know, it's like people come out of the woodwork. It's like, and I hate when people, like, to me, don't say, like, people are saying, oh, I'm sorry for your loss.
I
No, it was not your loss.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was his
Okay.
parents' loss and the
Yes.
friends, his close
His
people. Like
niece,
his
like,
ex
come
wasn't
on.
tripping off of him before he
No,
died. So
exactly. And I think that especially when it comes to actors and or famous people, people always want their like their light, their time to like shine and be like, oh well, I knew them, or this hoe because she has no blue check next to her name, his ex girlfriend. So, maybe she is looking for more followers
it's
because
always about the clout.
who would even know who she is? Like honestly, like she's I don't know. I really don't know who she is, and to me, she's not even worth my time.
Exactly.
And it's just sad that now everybody's speculating about things and like what he died of or what, we don't know. And just because someone has a problem, that shouldn't define or lessen, the heartache of what this is doing to his family and his friends, his close people, his close circle. And who knows? Probably maybe he had a massive heart attack in his jacuzzi. We don't know.
I mean, they said today that he was in the jacuzzi not that
But
long.
mm-mm.
And
And that's what they said. Because
his
they said if
assistant.
someone had found him earlier, they might have been able to save him.
Yeah.
And, like when they found him, I don't know how, and that was the thing. How'd they find him? Did someone call?
The assistant came back and saw that. That was
Mm.
released by TMZ
Mm.
Saturday. Like he was found face down in the jacuzzi. And I guess the assistant lifted him like so that his face wasn't in the
Mm.
jacuzzi when the police came.
Wow.
And it's just like I saw a TikTok of somebody that night driving up the street, filming past like all the cops, and it was corded off with the
Mm-hmm.
police tape. It's like,
Wow.
we want to know, like I want to know
Mm-hmm.
what's in his toxicology report,
Mm-hmm.
but I also want to like can it's you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Twitch, and it reminds me of Robin Williams. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know the demons that they were struggling with. And the thing that I saw also was he was supposedly really happy,
Mm-hmm.
like he was just doing, you know, playing pickleball. People who are
Yeah.
happy love playing pickleball. It's so cute.
Yeah.
And like
For real.
excited about going on his book tour. Like he has
Mm-hmm.
some dates, and so I don't know if he was depressed, but like my first thought went to maybe he had had too much to drink and passed out. But like the thing is that the assistant and people that saw him that day debunked that. They were
Mm-hmm.
like, he was fine. But
He was happy, they said. He had a good day.
but like the first thing like I saw in an article that night was, this was in the house, like they were listing all the medicines in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hold on, like I have pills in my house
Exactly.
too.
And
Like,
the things that they were posting, people are
mhm.
like, crap, if I ever croak, they're gonna think, crap, what did she do? Like what was she on?
I
Like,
mean,
oh
if
my
I ever
gosh.
croak and they go through my computer like history, they're gonna be like, this girl was psycho because of all my like murder that I look
No,
up.
for real. Yes, exactly. And it's like anybody could assume anything. It doesn't
Exactly.
mean anything because obviously he was struggling with things. I think
Yeah.
he had like Narcon, which
Yes.
isn't that a drug to help ease the side effects of like coming off of a
Yes.
narcotic, right?
Hmm.
So and then he had I think like an anxiety pill. So I mean, to me that's like not that uncommon. Like people would have those things. People could have Vicodin. I could have Vicodin with my knee right now. Like it doesn't mean that I'm there like popping 10, you
I think it's
know?
because like it was known. Like what
Hmm.
I like, and this is what I liked about him, he didn't sugarcoat, he shared his
Hmm.
demons with the world because in
Yeah.
an interview he said, like, I want people who are struggling to know that it's not like celebrities aren't like immune to it. Like we
Hmm.
all are the same and we all have, darkness in
Hmm.
us. And that's why he was so
Exactly.
open about it. And his castmates were supportive of his
Hmm.
struggles, of his, when he would go get help and all that stuff. So yeah.
And they protected him too. Like they were like, they all felt very protective of him and they were always worried about him, checking on him. And, and I think that's the thing. And maybe that's why this show in particular is so special for me is because their relationships were the same on the outside. Like maybe if time passed, but they still had that love for one another. Like a lot of times you see the shows end and then, oh, I haven't talked to so and so in years. Like, oh, I haven't seen her in 15 years, but whatever. But with them, it's like they were still a family. Like that dynamic they had during the show, it was evident at the reunion. It was the same, and
Yeah.
you didn't really hear about like falling outs,
No,
kind
never,
of like
never
what you
with that
saw with like
cast.
Will and Grace,
Yeah.
right? It's just like they didn't have that. Like honestly, regardless of like what they took from other like, what was the other one? With what's the other show? Living Single.
Hmm.
Like how even though yeah, there are some controversies with it, honestly though, this show, the cast they chose was perfection because their personalities just meshed and really I think they're what made the show popular and made it a success.
That's why they got paid what they got paid. That's why when they made their
Mhm.
salary demands, they were met because these people, it was evident,
Exactly.
that they're nothing without them. They could never
Mm-mm.
replace a single castmate. Like
No.
that was it. And, and just seeing them at the reunion, it was just like they probably, it was so like warm and
Sure.
real,
Yeah.
realistic because they've had a relationship ever since the show. So like
Mhm.
that never ended. They were just getting together for coffee. Oh, hey, we're here on the set. Like, but they've already been hanging. You know what I mean? Like it's a
Mhm.
real family and a real friendship. So
Oh, completely. But it was really jarring too to see him because we hadn't seen him in years, right? To
yeah.
see him though in the condition that he was, not saying physically like, his mental state, but with his teeth and stuff. He
Hmm.
looked out of all of them, I mean, they all changed and they got older, but you could tell with Matthew, he got a lot older and his teeth didn't help,
Mm.
right? And everybody was, and I think that I have to give him props because I don't know if I would have gone on the show. I don't know if I would have been at that reunion because he got a lot of like not people were talking a lot of smack about him and oh, was he high? He was on something.
He got a lot of shit. He got a lot of shit when he released his book too. I mean,
Mhm.
but what I like that is that he like owns up to like all the stuff because
Mhm.
I mentioned like I texted a friend about like what had happened. Oh my God, Matthew Perry has passed, and then she was
Mhm.
like, oh, I don't like him, and she doesn't like him because of that of a comment that he had made in his book, which he later took out, and I had forgotten about this comment
Mhm.
conveniently because I really like Matthew Perry. So I was like, ooh, when
Mhm.
I first heard it, I was like, oh, honey, no,
Mhm.
no, no, don't. But it was the comment he had made about River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves.
I didn't what was it? I didn't hear it.
Oh, yeah, it was around the time of the book was released or
Mhm.
prior because he was doing like press and stuff. And he, was sharing how he was very upset. Like that was his friend, River Phoenix
Mhm.
and him. They were homies.
Right.
And when he died, it was tragic, right?
Mhm.
And he was like, I can't believe that somebody as brilliant and as beautiful as River Phoenix would die, but people like Keanu Reeves are still walking around on the earth. And
Mhm.
people attacked him to shreds. And
Mhm.
he issued an apology and a statement, and he removed that from his book, if memory serves. And he said,
Mhm.
I just picked a name out of thin air. I have nothing against Keanu at all. It's
Mhm.
and I can see that being
I've said that.
exactly. I've said stupid shit before
I've said
too.
that even about my family.
And
Okay.
it's like, but like that's there's he owned up to it. It was a shitty thing to say, but I had forgotten about it. And it's
Mhm.
like, he's known to say stupid shit sometimes. But
Mhm.
people like get canceled all the time. Hello. I mean, I'm not trying to defend Roseanne, but I will. I will always
Mhm.
defend Roseanne. But like she got canceled so quick. Chris Noth got canceled. There's cancel culture is like, like I'm surprised I'm not canceled, like knock
Mhm.
on wood.
Oh, I'll
But
be probably canceled for saying I said that about my family. I
but
mean,
but it's like the thing is like he
we're
would,
human.
and hopefully people aren't gonna remember him because of some of the stuff that he said. And also like he went on an interview I don't think that long ago, and he was like, when I'm gone, I hope I'm not just remembered for being Chandler Bing.
Mhm.
And I think
Exactly.
that, yeah, I agree. Like he was more than just the character. Of course, that's a character that we love, and he's amazing, and it was hilarious, and it's an unforgettable and iconic role as well.
Mhm.
But he is more than that. And for
Of
me,
course.
like one of the first things I think about when I think about Matthew Perry, besides the fact that he's such a playboy back in the day, I mean, he had
Mhm.
beautiful women on his arm every 5 minutes. Like, I'm
Mhm.
surprised he didn't get Jennifer Aniston because he was madly in love with her.
Mhm.
He actually didn't get the girl, but he
Right.
had Julia Roberts on his arm. He had a whole bunch of like gore. I think Nev Campbell too. Hi, how are you?
Mhm.
But like all these women, like they were
Mhm.
like chomping at like they wanted
Yeah.
a piece of Matthew Perry.
Mhm. Mhm.
And also I think about Fools Rush In, which is one of my
Mhm.
favorite movies, hands down in the
Mhm.
world, and top 10 for sure. Top 5, I
Oh
think.
yeah.
Like that's what
Mhm.
I think about when I think about Matthew Perry,
Oh,
besides
completely.
Chandler. So like
Mhm.
I love that movie.
No, same here. That's actually probably one of my favorite movies too, and I think that him and Selma Hayek were a perfect, like they were just like the perfect match. It was like her
Mm.
spiciness with his just like silliness, his goofiness, that scene where he goes with her family,
Oh my God. To
and
shoot
and he gets,
snakes.
all the
Oh my
cactuses, the
God.
needles in him, and they
And
bring him back, and she's like,
drunk.
it's hilarious. And he's all sunburnt, it's just like it
Oh,
was it was just pure comedy. And he even said that was like his favorite, his best role ever.
Yeah. It
He
was
loved that movie and he felt like it showed his capabilities, you know.
to be a movie star.
Yeah. And, you know, and it's true. And I think that's a huge reason too why, obviously he had drug issues while he was filming Friends and it was ongoing because if you watch the show, you saw his weight go from really thin to bloated, then back to thin. It was like,
Hmm.
and then his coloring was bad. He would be like normal, and then it was like really red. So it was just like this roller coaster of, you know, stages of his addiction,
Hmm.
right? But I do think too, after the show ended, it was one of those things that I think a lot of people that are in long standing, you know, sitcoms that once they're done, they are only remembered as that character, especially when they've had major success with it. And it's
Yeah.
hard for them to get other roles because they're only associated with that.
Hmm.
And that could have been a huge reason too for a lot of things that he was going through. Cause I mean, it's funny, like, how long has it been since Friends has been on the air? 20 years ago?
Has it been that long? God. Again, it could
Um,
be because
because
I
I
think it
think,
ran
yeah,
until
because it
2000
started
and
in 1994.
I think and it ran for 10 seasons.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's
2002 maybe?
Yeah, so it's been a long time since they started, and then it's even been a long time since they ended. So, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, who
2004.
knows what his life has been like since then. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't until the reunion that kind of all these things started coming out, and then his book and him being honest, which is all a part of like his healing and his, you know, his addiction period and getting better, right? Is it
Right.
being honest about all of your things. And you have to admire someone for that and his honesty. And I think that's why I hope, even if it goes the other way, I really hope that they don't find that there is anything in the toxicology that would be out of the norm
Right.
just to prove people wrong, you know, and that it was something that just happened, right?
Hmm.
Because I want to believe that he was very serious about his recovery and that he was on a road to just doing greater things than you know, than he'd already had done, right?
Yes.
And if it wasn't that, then so be it. Like, we're not perfect. And especially look at what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. Look at how many times that he fell off the wagon, ran into people's freaking homes. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, I don't know, I don't want to compare, but I want to say his was way more in the spotlight and he was forgiven tenfold. And now look at his career. And that could have been easily the same for Matthew, you
Hmm.
know? And I
Precisely.
think, like, when you think of things that people say or do, and I think, like you said, with culture, like when you think of the things that he said, you know, yeah, he was known for saying things that maybe weren't, you know, politically correct or, but this day, you know, I think that we all come from a place too, like where it wasn't like that before. And we do have to be careful, especially when you are in the public eye of what you say, because even though you may not mean it, doesn't mean that, you know, your intentions behind it, people aren't going to understand. And it doesn't
Right.
mean that it was bad, you know. And like I said, you know, I said, when my dad passed away, I've said that, you know, and it doesn't mean that I want family to die. But you think about maybe people that haven't had a good life or are evil, or, and not saying my family is, but just people in general. Like, you tend to look, when you love someone so much, you think of, gosh, you know, I look at this person and think, why them? Why is it always good people? Not to say Keanu Reeves wasn't good, but you look back and you think of all these things, and you know, your mouth runs or your mind runs and you don't mean it with bad intention. And I think with him, I think he had a really good heart. And I think he's one of those people that feels really deeply. And that's the kind
Hmm.
of things that you got when you had Courtney Cox and Jennifer Aniston talking about him, you know, is that he's very sensitive. And that's why felt like they always had to protect him, you know?
Yeah.
And but just looking back on his career, I mean, you know, it's funny, it's kind of weird. I don't know if you saw that picture of them. I don't know who posted it, but someone posted it and it was a picture of the whole cast on a plane, and it was the night before the premiere of the pilot of Friends,
Mhm.
and the producers had told them to sent them to Vegas and told them to enjoy their night in Vegas, live it up because it's going to be the last time that anybody that you basically could walk around and nobody's going to know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at that photo was just like kind of like crazy because you think, okay, what's going on in their head? Or, and even then, when I mean, I don't know how long they knew each other, but you could already tell like the way they felt about each other. That looking at this picture, you felt like this emotion. And it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier, how
Mm-hmm.
in a photo and how a photo can capture so much, you know, and then throw on a black and white filter on it. And then it's even more emotion that comes from that photo, you know? And it was just so, I don't know. It's just one of those people, like you said, like literally, I really don't cry over famous people, you know? But this, like, I don't know, it just really hit home,
Yeah.
you
And,
know?
and he was
It's
so
very
young
sad.
too. And I just feel like he had a lot more to give. I really wish that he would have been able to finish his book tour, you
Mm-hmm.
know, do more, like
Mm-hmm.
act. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's so funny because I just recently saw a commercial of the promo for Friends. That I don't remember airing. It was a funny one, but it
Mm-hmm.
was like sepia toned, and they were told to be in their undies and be all
Mm-hmm.
seductive and watch my
Uh-huh.
show. And they were all,
Mm-hmm.
I can't be sexy, no, 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 just watch our show. But it was just like so funny to see them look so young and fresh and already in sync with one another. Like again, it was before the show had even started. They were like those commercials, like to give people, give them a glimpse and get excited
Mm-hmm.
to see it. So that was
Totally.
funny. And just you see the chemistry, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just unfortunate. And I really wanted to share, well, first of all, the fact that he was also raised in Canada. Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't raised in Canada. I just
Of
had to share that because you
course.
guys know how I feel. Like everyone's Canadian, but I really want to
Mm-hmm.
share a quote that is beautiful
Mm-hmm.
from him. And it just shows the growth. So it's like there are two ways to go when you hit that crossroads in life. There is the bad way when you sort of give up, and then there is the really hard way when you fight back. I went the hard way and came out of it okay. Now I'm sitting here and doing great. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like that he was, and I just hope that we can all wait patiently, for more information to come out. It'll come
Exactly.
out
Mm-hmm.
because, we're all nosy.
It
And,
always does.
and it, because people want answers, I guess, to feel better about his
Mm-hmm.
death,
Right.
and hopefully it was just an unfortunate heart attack, that
Mm-hmm.
tends to follow men, especially.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully he didn't suffer,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's just a big loss.
Do you know did you hear anything about like I know he loved Batman. He was like
He
obsessed
kept
with
calling
that.
himself Matty Man, like towards
Yeah.
the end, and people were like, "What are you talking about?" But it's
And
because he was
people
writing this play.
And people were saying that, oh, and that's the thing is that people were saying, oh, he must have killed
Exactly.
himself because if you follow Batman, Batman's actually really dark.
Oh, for the love. Okay, I didn't hear that
Mm-hmm.
stupidity. I just heard people making crude comments that
Mm-hmm.
he kept referring to himself as Matty Man or Matt
Mm-hmm.
Man. Oh, he's lost it. I've just heard people saying
Mm-hmm.
he's lost it, but to get out of here. I'm tired.
Exactly. No, and that's the thing is just like, come on. It's just like we don't know what's going on in his
We
head. We didn't
don't.
know what happened.
He,
And
yeah,
I mean, it's just like we said earlier, everybody's trying to make something out of nothing sometimes. And
exactly. Just to make news.
yeah, and
It's a
honestly,
slow
even
day.
yeah, and even if he did pass away from this, like, you know, he was trying, and I think that we have to give him credit for, like you said earlier, like putting himself out there, making
Hmm.
himself vulnerable to a lot of, just shit talking that people love to do. And we're all human. Like we could be in that situation.
But
Unless you've dealt with addiction, you don't know what it's like.
the thing is like people feel like they have so much. They're entitled to say
Of
everything, and
course.
they're
Hmm.
entitled their entitlement like spews all over people they don't even know. Like,
Mhm.
again, not to always bring it back to Taylor Swift, but she's always a good example. But when Taylor Swift went to go fucking just go to her friend's rehearsal dinner for their wedding, and like
Mhm.
all her fans were parked outside.
Mhm.
She wouldn't have wanted that, but they assume, like, because
Yeah.
Taylor loves her fans. Oh, it's okay if we're here. Like, stop assuming and stop with your entitlement.
Mhm.
It's getting old, and you know what?
Yeah.
Everyone's allowed to make mistakes. We all do. We're not in front of the public eye, so we're able to do them here without many people's opinions spewing all over us. So shut
Yeah.
the fuck up.
Exactly. No, I agree. I feel like we as fans are such like when it comes to bullying, you know, I don't think that people have a clue because we wouldn't know because we're not famous. But when you think of how hard it must be to live in, and yes, this is the life they've chosen, because many people are like, well, they chose it. So you can't feel bad for them. Right. But just because they're famous, like there's a time and place, right? But if you see someone out having coffee, or if you see someone out like trying to be with their kids, having a good day, leave them the hell alone.
I hate
You
that.
know?
We always say that, and it's true.
Yeah.
It'll
You
never
know? That's like if
not
I like
be.
with me, I could have like when I saw MC Hammer, I totally could have been like, "Oh my gosh," because I love him so much. But no, why am I going to do that? Like
Yeah.
to me, it's just, and when you think of like stuff that famous people go through, I mean, for example, I was looking at, I don't know if you've seen I think it's called Unbreakable. Or maybe is it called Unbreakable? I think it is with Posh and David Beckham, or is it called Beckham? I can't remember. But there's a new Netflix series about David Beckham
Oh yeah.
on, yeah,
Oh
and
God. Yeah, I haven't seen that
it's
train
very,
wreck yet.
yes, and it's amazing though. But there's a part where, and I didn't really know much about his career, but there's a part where he did something during the World Cup series, and basically for like a while, people were attacking him and even Victoria at like the games and stuff, calling him names, sending death threats
Yeah.
and stuff.
It's
And it's
gross.
kind of like with Taylor, and like how you said, like sometimes when you're that famous, that fans are just people because they feel like they have an open window to do whatever they want to these people's lives, you know? And I just think that, I don't know, to me, I just think of his family mainly. Like you see the picture of his dad when he passed away, and that his dad and his mom driving in.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
like, is that
so
really the
sad.
last thing that do you really want to be photographed like when your loved one passes away?
No,
You know,
leave
it's
me
just
alone.
people are so heartless, and that's a part of like TMZ and all of these like um photographers and stuff. It's just like put yourself in these people's shoes. I mean, and I know these are just words because no one will ever listen because it's their paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
But it's dehumanizing in so many ways because everybody deserves to mourn,
Yeah.
and I hope that the Friends cast holds out for a while and allows themselves to heal and to just deal with this, because I'm sure
Well,
people are chomping at the bit trying to get comments from them left
they
and right,
already did.
because they already got one from, I don't know
Mhm.
if this is the one from Phoebe, but I know not Phoebe, what's her name, Lisa,
No, they already released a joint
the joint
statement.
one.
Yeah,
But I
but like
know
I don't think
TMZ was assuming
they're
that,
they're gonna get separate ones. I think their joint statement alone screams this is the all we're gonna say for a while on the
oh,
top.
completely. Oh, completely. But see, like with TMZ, they said, oh, Lisa, what's her,
Kudrow
Kudrow,
with the dog.
points to something about that he died of overusage of pills
Oh my God. Shut
or
the
something. And it basically, when you click on the link, it talks about just the stuff that he had on his nightstand and a comment that she had made at some point, which who even
probably
knows when that comment
in the
was?
90s. Like
Exactly.
like seriously
It's
enough. And
infuriating.
because the press isn't getting anything more from them,
Hmm.
they keep like every time I turn around, Lisa Kudrow plans to adopt Matthew Perry's dog, which by the way, I love
So
that. But
cute.
like, okay, like
Hmm. Who
you'll
cares?
any you know what's Jennifer Aniston spotted at Safeway, with a package of Kleenex. Like Jesus.
Hmm. exactly. They're always just looking and searching and stretching for more and more. But I mean, honestly, I just hope that he, like you said, went peacefully, that too,
Yeah,
peacefully. And I hope he was happy towards the end,
I think he was,
you know?
based on what people close to him have been sharing.
Yeah.
And I hope. We can
Hmm.
only hope.
Yeah. So, I guess time will tell. We'll see what happens. But ending on that, though, what was your favorite episode of Friends with Matthew Perry, with Chandler?
Oh
Do you have any
God.
scenes that were your favorite?
There's so many, but one of them is the Thanksgiving episode where Ross had told his parents years prior, like so Chandler and Monica are living together and they're going to share that with Monica's parents.
Hmm.
And Monica's parents can't stand him and he just didn't know
Hmm.
why. And then they find out it's because Ross had gotten high in his bedroom
Yes.
fire and blamed the smell on Chandler.
Hmm.
That's funny as shit I've ever heard. And he was like, but prior to that, he was trying to like be sweet to like the
Hmm.
parents, like, hey, welcome to the house. And he's like gonna take the jacket off of the dad. He's like, hey, was it snowing out there? And
Hmm.
it was dangerous.
Amazing. Oh
Dad
my
was like,
God.
no. Like it was
Hmm.
just so funny. And another one, a more sweet one, was when Monica proposed to Chandler. That
Hmm.
killed me.
And then she couldn't do it, and then he got down on his knee.
Oh my. Oh, see. Okay. What
Yeah.
about you?
Like you, I have so many. Mine is also a Thanksgiving episode where him and Ross, they show him go back in time.
Oh,
But
the hair.
the hair, the way he like puts his cuffs up like
Yeah.
Miami
At the
Vice,
same
right?
time, the both of them do it. Oh my God.
Amazing. Um, but it's when Monica basically loses weight and he's like, oh wow, and he's like all over her and she's like, oh my gosh, and she's over there, they go into
Oh,
the kitchen and she's over there with trying to like entice him, to get back at him.
yeah.
And but it ends up to where she drops a knife while they're in
Because
this.
she's rubbing it on herself.
Yes, exactly. And with some carrots and then the knife, and then the knife flies up, and then you see Chandler's face, and like it goes down, and then it basically cuts off a part of his toe.
Yeah.
And he ends up in the ER, and they're like,
Where is it?
and they, instead of grabbing the toe, the mom grabbed the carrot.
No, Monica grabbed the carrot
Was
and
it
put it on
Kara? Oh,
ice.
okay. And then, oh,
Monica.
that's right, because the mom goes, "Oh my
Oh,
gosh, there's a toe in my kitchen."
kitchen.
And then someone was like, "Well, who wears wicker
Yeah.
shoes?"
Well, look at the shoes. They're made of wicker. The dad
Hmm.
said that.
Exactly. It was so funny.
Epic
I don't
episode.
know. But there's so many. I like the one where he's like in the bathtub with
Oh yeah,
and Monica's,
Bubbles.
yeah, exactly. And Monica's under there and he's telling Joey's order. I mean, there's so many.
I
He's
mean, when
just,
Phoebe and Chandler were seducing each other because they were
oh my God, that
trying
was
to like,
amazing.
I mean, that was epic acting. Like
Completely.
every single episode, we've seen a billion times, and
Hmm.
I never get bored. Like I'm getting ready to binge it again because I
Hmm.
binge it every year. Like I do.
Yeah.
It's my comfort. And
Hmm.
it's just, and I laugh like it's the first time. And I
Oh,
think
completely.
and I think I watch Fools Rush In every year. It's just my favorite little cozy,
Hmm.
just like Under the Tuscan Sun. Those are my cozy
Yes,
movies. And
exactly.
I laugh every time. Like
Hmm.
when Selma Hayek's character decorates the house like all crazy and he's like,
Hmm.
I think you already said that, but like
Hmm.
the dog, the chihuahua runs through and he's like, what the fuck
Yes.
is that? Like it's just
Uh-huh. But he has the same type of
humor.
reactions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his face. He's like,
exactly. It's just who he is. It's ingrained in him. That's his
but
personality.
you know what? One favorite scene that I forgot to mention from that movie was when he comes home and they're adjusting and living together and she's dancing in the kitchen
Yeah.
cooking and the way he
Hmm.
stares at her.
Yeah. Oh, completely. Could still think of that right now. It's just, yeah, he's just a real honest actor. Like, like a picture. When he acts, it's believable. Like,
Hmm.
how some other acting, but with him, it's just it's effortless. And, those type of movies, rom-coms, I mean, oh my gosh, if he wasn't busy with Friends or,
He would
I
have been
don't know
big.
when it came to casting, but oh my gosh, his career would have been even more like insane with the
than what
amount
it
of,
was.
yeah, because he really was popular at the height of all these,
Yeah.
like that rom-com era,
But
you
like he
know?
and again, like that's what Hollywood saw because he even made a comeback, like,
Hmm.
with the movie with Zac Efron. Like that
Yeah.
was a perfect casting, by the way. Like whoever thought, like,
Hmm.
let's get Matthew Perry on the horn. And then
Exactly.
like, of course, OG Matthew Perry fans, hi, when we saw him on 90210. Thank you very much.
Hmm.
That was
That's
Growing
right.
Pains. Like he's
Hmm.
just been around forever, ever and ever.
Completely.
And
Yes.
it's a huge loss to everyone, like
Yeah,
Hollywood and, fans. So I
it
hope,
is. But I don't know. Hopefully there's no other, you know how they say in threes, but I think we already got the three. It's horrible how we all have to think that way. Like,
I mean,
okay,
we didn't even mention Suzanne Summers. I was shocked. And
no,
you know what though? Homegirl went out with a bang. That
she
woman,
sure did.
gorgeous,
Mm-hmm.
gorgeous. And you wouldn't even know what she was
Oh
suffering.
no.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm-mm.
she suffered. And that was sad. She was I was gonna say she was so young. She actually wasn't, but she sure as hell looked it. She was
Y-
gorgeous.
You wouldn't know
So
how old she was.
mhm.
And she had such a really good personality. I watch a show called DBL. It's like a new show on, I don't know what channel it is, but they used to have her on as like a guest speaker every now and then. And I saw her like about maybe 4 months ago. Oh my gosh, she looked phenomenal.
She's amazing.
And you wouldn't even know that she was suffering.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the fact that she, I don't know, she just had this like ever since Three's Company, she had such a essence about her. Like
Yeah.
it was so kind of like with how Matthew Perry was, like she was a natural like
Comedian.
comedian, but the way she presented herself was like, how she was kind of airheaded in that show,
Ditzy. Yeah.
but it was cute and it looked natural.
Yeah.
And I don't know, and she really loved her husband, like their love story was beautiful. And I was thinking of her on Saturday when I got the news because I believe it was Courtney Cox was really good friends with her as well. And
Mm.
I had seen a picture they had given, I don't know, they had some sort of dinner before she passed away, and she was over her house and she had like a tribute to Suzanne Summers. And you
Mm.
see her there in the photo. And I want to say Jennifer Aniston was there too. I'm not sure. But I was just like, look at that. Now, like, I don't know. Life's crazy. You just never know. Right. And
You
that's
never
why I say,
know.
like, love on all those that you love extra hard because, life is way too short.
And also don't expel unnecessary energy and stress on those that do not deserve it because
Hmm.
life's too short.
Exactly. I agree. Well said, Steph. Who says this all the time or used to be kind? Ellen.
Oh,
Remember? Because honestly, our world needs a lot of kindness.
yeah.
It really
Yeah.
does.
More
And
now than ever.
yeah, so but I think we gave a good tribute to Matthew, and I just hope he's looking down on us all, and I hope he's just happy in heaven.
And laughing.
Yeah, exactly. Mm, heavens, but
All
that's
right,
good.
then. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Thank you for listening to our tribute and happy Halloween. Although, when you listen to
Yes.
this, happy November 1st. Wake up, wake
Hmm.
up, wake up. It's the first of the month.
Yes, as what is it? Who says that? Mariah Carey says, "It's time."
It's,
Sorry, my dogs are
yes.
barking.
Oh, and I'm not talking about my feet. But also,
Crazy.
guys, don't forget we have a brand new spanking new, I should say, episode of 90s Crime Talk coming at you this Friday. So stay tuned. And we're almost to the 100th episode, guys. That'll
We
be
are.
in December, but I'm gonna blink and it's December. So
I
yay.
know. Oh my God.
But yeah, so Neen, I can't wait to talk to you again about some grisly crime. But this was awesome, and I love you, and I hope you're feeling better. I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
check on you later, but share pictures of Presley, okay? Please.
I will for sure. You
Have
got it.
have fun. We'll tell
Thank you.
Pretzel
Happy
to have
Halloween.
fun. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Sounds
And catch
good.
you on the flip side of November.
Oh, yeah. Peace out, buddies.